Game Chat with Bwana, episode 42, coming at you right now.
Welcome to Game Chat with Bwana, your source for gaming news and reviews. Now, here's Bwana McCall.
This is Game Chat with Bwana. Game Chat with Bwana, episode 42, coming at you live. It is now December, slide over a little bit. It's now December 26th, and it's Monday night. It's 6 p.m. Eastern, and we are here live, and we are on time, dead on time. Because that's what we do here at Game Chat with Bwana, is that we show up on time sometimes. But when we do show up on time, we talk about the latest gaming news, the last 7 days of gaming stuffs that are found on the interwebs. We go scouring the webs with our virtual rakes, and we go through the tubes, and we look for gaming nuggets. They look like little Pac-Man heads. You rake them up, and they look like little Pac-Man heads, and then you stick them up to your eye, and then you read it somehow using science and physics that I don't understand. And then we pick the best that little Pac-Man heads that we can find on the web, and we find all these little stories, and we talk about them here. Game Chat with Bwana. Then, towards the end of the show, you guys will augment. You guys will augment my stories with stuff that you find. You go to our forums at bwana.tv/forums, and you post some stories that I didn't find. So we kind of talk about those towards the end of the show. And then at the very end, we have title time. And then during title time is when you guys come up with snazzy titles that will actually make the show look more important than what it actually is. And for our first story, what we're going to talk about today, we got a short abbreviated show today. It's not going to be very, very long. I got to be out of here in a few minutes, so I'm not going to rush through this, as I'm going to try to go normal speed, but we only got 5 stories to talk about. The first one, we're going to talk about Respawn Entertainment, and these guys have kind of been in the shadows. We haven't talked about them in a long, long time, ever since the big debacle with Activision and the Modern Warfare 2 founders, or the Call of Duty founders, basically leaving in a kerfuffle, basically leaving in a giant pile of chaos and taking half the Infinity Ward employees with them over to this newfound company, Respawn Entertainment, which is under the umbrella of Electronics Entertainment. You guys know them as EA. So, that particular company, Respawn Entertainment, has recently released a picture of kind of what they're working on. And it's not this picture with the guy with the creeper face. That is an epic shirt. I must commend you. You are very, very cool. No, this is Respawn Entertainment. There's one guy. I think that's Jason West, and I think that's Vince Zampella right there. I don't remember what Vince looks like. I know it. I don't know. I don't know my face right now. Oh, Vince is down here. There he is. He's down here. I know that smile. He's down here at the bottom. But they released this photo of something blurry, and I see a head. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor. Probably can't see my mouse cursor, but I see like a head in the middle area. Let me see if I can enable my mouse cursor. No, too late for that. It looks like a skeleton. So it might be a zombie game. Looks like a skeleton head here on the right. I see a neck, I see a body, and then there's this, I don't know if that's a helmet or some sort of an alien. And then you got this guy here. He looks like he's looking at the screen, his alien eyes, and it's like a Rorschach, ink blot test. We're looking at images and abstracting what we want to see. So, in essence, Bwana wants to see a zombie skeleton game with aliens looking at the screen come from Respawn Entertainment. Yes. So I don't need to go to the psychiatrist anymore. These guys have solved all my issues that I have because this painting just solves it all. But seriously, I really think the authors over at PlayStation Lifestyle got it exactly right. These guys, they spent hours analyzing this photo, and they really put, you know, a lot of brains towards. They looked at every single digital pixel, and they zoomed in and enhanced, and they got this. And I think that's absolutely spot on. I really think that's exactly what it is, and I really commend them on this, because that really took some serious detective work to come up with something as special as that enhancement right there. I absolutely applaud PlayStationLifestyle.net. I'm going to donate like virtual money in the form of little Pac-Man heads that we talked about earlier. I'm going to send them a virtual basket of those in a text file. So PlayStationLifestyle.net, you guys get major kudos for solving the problem. This face is what they were trying to show. Check it out, guys. This is over on PlayStationLifestyle.net. They got the details over there about Respawn Entertainment. They released a super blurry picture, and we figured out what it was. And speaking of Respawn Entertainment, oh boy, we're back. We are back into the huge thing that I was talking about earlier. We hadn't talked about it for a long time. And, you know, it goes way back. Some of you may not even remember. Some of you may not even remember what happened. But basically what happened is Jason West and Vince Zampella, two co-founders, I believe they were co-founders of Infinity Ward, left Activision in a huge pile of drama. And they went to start their own company under EA that we just talked about, called Respawn Entertainment. And the last we heard of this is that this was trying to go to court. EA was countersuing, and you know, lots of things were trying to be solved in the court. There were a lot of countersuits being made, a lot of what do they call them, injunctions and court speak that I don't understand. But basically today, that the Los Angeles Activision announced that the Los Angeles Superior Court has denied a motion, that's what it's called, a motion, brought forth by EA. EA was trying to block this particular trial from happening. And this is a $400 million contract interference suit. And what Activision is saying is that Vince Zampella and Jason West they both went to visit and speak with EA during their time of employment at Activision, which is a breach of their contract. And they also did some unlawful tampering, whatever. And they basically took nearly half of the remaining Infinity Ward employees with them, 46, which is why Modern Warfare 3 is in the shape it is today. You guys don't want to accept that, but, you know, Infinity Ward kind of got gutted. So Modern Warfare 3 is kind of like a Modern Warfare 2 DLC with, you know, some extras. Yes. 38 of the 46 Infinity Ward employees who resigned from Infinity Ward also signed on to Respawn Entertainment. So they almost took the entire 46 people who resigned. And the jury trial in the case is scheduled to begin on May 7th, 2012. So it's, I don't know. It's one of those things that, you know, you're going to look at, and I don't know who's going to win, because I think EA does have a countersuit. I forgot what the grounds were, but they do have a countersuit. And I don't think it was this motion to stop this. It was another countersuit. And I don't know who's going to win, but I think a lot of money is going to be made by lawyers. I think a lot of money is going to change hands at the end. I honestly don't think it's going to affect us as gamers. It's kind of like a soap opera. We're just sitting on the sidelines watching what happens, and lots of drama. Two of the biggest publishers out there, EA and Activision. They got the biggest MMORPGs. They got the biggest shooters, arguably. They got the big time media, you know, backing. You got superstars in their commercials, and so much money these companies have. So it's kind of like Clash of the Titans, which is kind of impossible to pass up. You know, if you are into that kind of stuff. So we're watching it. We're not going to get too deep into it, but we are watching, and to see what's going to pan out with EA versus Activision. Check it out, guys. This is over on GamerForever.com. They got the details over there.
Game Chat with Bwana is recorded live before a worldwide audience every Monday night. You can participate by suggesting news stories. Just register an account in our forums at bwana.tv/forums.
Okay, let's talk about BioWare. And we're going to talk about SWTOR, which you guys will be happy to know that I actually did pick it up, and I played the game, and I was surprisingly impressed with it. Star Wars The Old Republic is the newest MMO by BioWare, which is under the EA umbrella. Game is popular. I think a lot of us knew when we saw the initial numbers from the beta, and we saw the initial numbers from the pre-orders, that it was going to be a rough, bumpy launch. And that's exactly what happens with all these really popular MMOs. It's just everybody tries to join and play at the same time to get to the max level. It's like a race. It's like you can imagine a worldwide marathon to run 2 miles, and everybody's packed into this road, and they're trying to run. It's like this huge human traffic jam. It's kind of what's happening here. And we call those queues. That's when you have to stand in actual virtual line. You have to stand in line in order to get on one of these SWTOR servers. And, that's what's happening. People who've been playing the game see that pretty much every server is full. There's a few servers that, aren't always full, but there's a lot of full servers. And BioWare has responded. Those of us who are seasoned veterans in MMOs, we kind of expected this. I expected it. I expect it again when Guild Wars comes out. It just happens. Everybody who's into MMOs knows this happens during the first couple of weeks. And it kind of settles down over time. And this is their response. It says, in order to ensure that the service would be smooth and stable, we staged how we brought people into the early game access program, adding people in waves. You guys maybe have heard of that. The early access program, you didn't get to play as soon as the timer kicked on. You had to wait until you were invited. So people came in waves. And there was a lot of mad people because they didn't get, all their early time in. And I've seen some streamers get upset. And a lot of people online were very vocal about it. As you know, there are a lot of folks who want to play the game right now. We want to make sure that we have lots of people to play with. Don't think that's going to be a problem. Balancing this with figuring out when to bring new servers online to help alleviate the size of the queues is part art and part science. Well, on one hand, you do not want people to wait too long. On the other hand, you want to make sure that people have a dynamic, engaging community to play with for long after launch. Either way, we have a clear objective to make sure folks have fun. And it says, while we can't promise that there won't ever be queues, we can promise you that we are taking this matter seriously and are constantly reviewing them to make sure that they are manageable and reasonable. So in essence, they're going to be slowly adding servers, which is what 89,000% of other companies do when they're faced with this situation. Saw it with DC Universe Online. All the other MMOs who came out, the servers were packed. And it's best to take this approach if you are an MMO vendor. You don't want to overbuy servers. You don't want to buy too many servers. So what they usually do is they buy what they anticipate the load is going to be, and they slowly scale up. It's cost efficient to do that as a company. Now, if you grossly buy, if you buy 4 servers and you need 50 at launch, then that's a problem. But I think for the most part, they did a decent job. The longest queue I remember being in was 20 minutes, which is not the end of the world if you're on a new MMO. I've seen queues that have been longer, 50 minutes. I remember Rift had his queues, and 50 minutes to an hour queue, and that, that's when people start to say, okay, I'm just not going to play this game. And I think that's when BioWare really has to step in and actually do something. But we'll see. They're going to be adding new servers. And like I said, guys, I really do like this game. It's, what intrigued me to try it. Oh, I want to thank let me just take a pause and say, I want to thank all of our live stream viewers who chipped in. Because what happened is on the night of launch, it was after Game Chat episode 41. I said, all right, guys, if we can raise enough money to buy this game, I will stream it until I pass out. So I put a chip-in widget up. I sent it out to Twitter. I sent it out to the stream. And in about 20 minutes, not even 20 minutes, it was like 15 minutes, we raised $60 and I bought the game. And I basically played until 6 a.m. And I did collapse eventually. So I lived up to that promise. But the game, I was intrigued by the storytelling elements. Not so much, because I had watched gameplay and I saw the mechanics of the fighting. And I wasn't too impressed. That's why I was so turned off by it. I was like, this doesn't look all that special. But the storytelling element and all the different background stories and the whole Mass Effect formula is what drew me to it, and it's a good formula. So, BioWare responds to the long queue issues for Star Wars: The Old Republic. I really think they're going to do okay. But when that other game comes out, the other game called Guild Wars, then I think BioWare better come out with a huge content update. I think they're timing it around that. They probably got like 20,000 instances and a whole 3,000 gigabyte, 3 terabyte storyline waiting for when Guild Wars comes out, because they're going to need to they're going to need to basically give something to their players so they don't go over to Guild Wars, because there's going to be a mass exodus during that initial period. So we'll see how they respond when the big daddy comes on the street. Guild Wars, that is. Check it out, guys. This is over on vividgamer.com. They got the details over there. And for our next story, we're going to talk about Planetside 2. This is both good news and bad news. Planetside 2 is a highly anticipated MMO FPS. MMO FPS. I don't say that very often on here because it's not a very common genre of video game. MMO FPS is a massively multiplayer online first-person shooter. Yeah. Just basically think of your typical MMO, throw in some shooter elements, first-person shooter elements, and you got an MMO FPS. Planetside 1 was one of the biggest names to pioneer this new genre. Planetside 2 beta signups are now live, but that's the good news. And the bad news is that if you're like me, you can't get in, because when you go to the sign-up link, if you haven't used Sony Station in a while, they prompt you to change your password. And I changed my password and it didn't work. It just says your password is incorrect. And it keeps doing that. And I reset it and it still says my password is incorrect. So in essence, it's broken. Worked for some people, because some people said they got to sign up, but I couldn't. I tried it like 4 times. I tried it earlier today and I tried it again about 20 minutes ago. Make that about 30 minutes ago. And it just didn't work. So check it out, guys. Planetside 2 beta signups are now live, but you may have trouble getting in if you have to change your password like I did. And for our final story, we're going to talk about a highly anticipated title by some of you. A lot of you are Kingdom Hearts fans. I've heard this chatter a lot of times in my chat rooms and, you know, during the live streams when I play Kingdom Hearts music sometimes. I think it'll pop up from OC Remix. Kingdom Hearts 3D has been confirmed to be released sometime in 2012 in North America and Europe. It's called Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance. Get it? 3D? Dream Drop Distance. 3D. It's probably 3D stuff. There's a new trailer down here. Very, very cool trailer. So if you're into Kingdom Hearts, guys, check this out. Check out this trailer. I know a lot of people who are into this game. I never played Kingdom Hearts, but I have watched people play it, and it's cute. It's like if Final Fantasy and Disney just drop kicked each other and became one. And you know, the Final Fantasy feet were sticking out of the head of the Disney head. You know, it was some kind of a human thing. That's Kingdom Hearts. And that concludes all of our stories I have for the day. We're going to move on to our user-submitted stories so we can see what you guys have to say about the internet gaming stuff.
Please support Game Chat with Bwana by turning off your ad-blocking software.
Okay, we're going to move on to user-submitted stories. And like I said earlier, guys, it's going to be a short, abbreviated show. So that's why I cut my stories only 10 minutes short. I thought it was going to be shorter than that. So I got to watch how much I talk. And we're going to go over to our forums. Sign up for our forums at bwana.tv/forums. And you can submit stories whenever I post them. I generally post them about 2 to 3 hours before start time. So about 3 p.m. Eastern, you can head over to our forums, go to the Bwana TV section. You'll find the thread there. And then you can post your links like these guys have. First up is Sarams. Sarams. First link is that the Rift account database has been hacked. Tryon Worlds says there is no reason to believe that full credit card info has been compromised. Now, we saw something very similar to this when we talked about who was hacked last week. That was Square Enix. Square Enix was hacked last week, and now Tryon Worlds was hacked. Same type of intrusion, same type of statement. You know, we don't believe full credit card info was compromised. I think they said that the last 4 digits and the expiration date were in there, but not the entire number. So that's still kind of bad. I got the email, I read it, and basically it's saying that watch your credit statements, watch your bank statements and stuff. So I don't know. It's just becoming so common now. It kind of makes you not want to sign up for anything. Just say, okay, if I have to pay money for something, you know, I'm just not going to sign up. It's crazy, man. Everybody's getting hacked. Everybody and their grandmother's getting hacked these days. And Tryon Worlds is the next one on the list. So check that out. That's over on 1UP. Thanks for the story, Sarams. SWTOR reaches 1 million players and 28 million hours played. I wonder how many hours that Skyrim has now. We were talking about SWTOR earlier with the queues, but the Old Republic has hit 1 million players already, 28 million hours played, and this was as of December 23rd. And the game came out on the 20th. Yeah. Actually came out the 21st, but it was the night of the 20th. So after about 3 days or so, 1 million people are playing. That's why those servers are always full. So EA is obviously proud. They've assembled more than 1 million registered players in the first week officially live, earning it the self-granted title of fastest growing subscription MMO in history. Amazing. 1 million players is a solid milestone, blah, 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 blah. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good. A lot of MMOs can't get to 1 million in their entire lifespan. So congratulations to EA and SWTOR for hitting 1 million players, 28 million hours played. That's quite a bit of lightsaber swinging. Thanks for the link, Sarams. Next link is from Raz Yami, who lists 12 innovations we want from the PS4 and the Xbox 720. 12 innovations. I can think of one. How about it don't break? How about we don't have a red ring of death? How about we don't have a yellow light of death? That's a start. Let's just start right there. Okay. Cloud storage. Yeah. PS3 kind of has that now, but not in the form that they're talking about. So they want a full cloud storage solution. No hard drives. And that's a tall order. I can't really say I don't think we're going to be fully cloud enabled for another 10 to 15 years because people's internet connections, especially in the United States. Now, across the world, it's better than what it is in the United States, but it's just a mess over here. And to have true cloud storage, I would want to have a terabyte up and a terabyte down. That's what I would want to have. I'm just that greedy. And you know, I was reading Twitter, and I think Notch is getting that kind of internet connection. The maker of Minecraft, he's getting a terabyte up and a terabyte down. And I want to reach through the screen and punch him out of jealousy. And smack. Cloud, I don't know. Complete online retail. Okay, so they want complete digital downloads. I guess that goes along with the cloud storage thing. If you're going to be relying on cloud storage, makes sense to just say we're just going to abandon, we're going to abandon this altogether. Let us access Steam and other platforms to make our choices based on the best offers and the best services. Hey, I don't know. I think we need brick and mortar still, though. even though I'm all for digital downloads, look what's happening to Trion Worlds. Look what's happening to Square Enix. Look what's happening to Sony. Look what's happening to all the other billion companies. Security is not there. So before we go to complete online retail, get the security in order first. And then people won't be as reluctant. You know, people will give you a credit card number. Now it's like, no, nobody want to give you a credit card number. Okay, retroactive platform parity. They can't have any less. Oh, okay. They need cross-game chat. You make forward progress. So they just gotta... What? Let me read this out loud. Whatever these next consoles happen to be, they cannot offer anything less than the last generation. PlayStation 4 needs cross-game and party chat. You can make all the forward progress in the world, but if you don't keep up with what's already done, what's the point? I guess they were reaching, because... Duh! Okay, unified video service. Talking about Netflix, Hulu, Vudu, Zune Marketplace. Yeah, I can go with that. Automatic and fewer updates. I agree. I don't know about automatic, but fewer updates. Fewer. I'm not a big fan of automatic updates, especially when they break things. So, yeah. Mods. Oh boy. Okay. Mods. Yeah. Ain't gonna happen. Much as I wanted to see it happen, ain't gonna happen. Next. Stronger voice codec. Yeah, that's they should use Speaks. I like Speaks because it's in Mumble and TeamSpeak and it's very, very good. So they should get Speaks. But I don't think they'll be able to try it. Don't use Skype. No, don't use Skype. Use Speaks. Expanded achievements. Okay, sure. Backwards compatibility. You know, I don't know. If you talk about digital downloads, then yes, I want backwards compatibility in that form. But when I buy a new console, I'm one of those people that I don't really have to play the games that I already own on the other platform, on the other system. I'm not going to go out and sell my PS3 and buy a PS4. I'm going to keep the PS3. So I'm in the minority here, I guess. Backwards compatibility is a nice to have to me. It's not a necessity. Some people, it's a necessity. I spent all my money on these games and I want to be able to play them on the new thing in high def. Fine. Well, I'm not one of those people. So, yeah. More non-game games. No. No more Microsoft points. Yes. Better motion technology. No. Okay. Good stories. Good links. Moving on to the next one. Thanks for those, Rajyami. Great innovations. Spark discussion and stuff. Techniven says BF3 could be heading to the ice cold tundra. And this is a very small quote. I read this article and I was like, huh? Fans have wondered if any snow levels will be added to Battlefield 3 in the Frostbite 2 engine, among several other requested additions. DICE took the request head on and commented on the following. That's a definite possibility. The most vague answer on the planet. They say that to everything. Hey, DICE, are you going to add bazookas that shoot backwards? Well, that's a definite possibility. We'll look at it. Hey, DICE, what about those ice skating boots that have rockets that make you flip upside down and do a 360 turn? Wow, that's a great idea. That's a definite possibility. Hey, DICE, would you make a World War II simulator or a World War II type of game using Frostbite 2? We really thought about that. That's a definite possibility. I need a little bit more than that. I need a little bit more than that. So check that out. Thanks for the story, Technifen. All right, humble indie bundle for sales past $2 million Fish Twit. And there's that Meat Boy. Humble Indie Bundle 4. Past $2 million. We gave away a lot of these on the stream. People were donating copies left and right. Super Meat Boy, Bit Trip Runner, Night Sky Shank, Jamestown. And if you paid a certain amount, you got Cave Story and Gratuitous Space Battles. Sales past $2 million. That's a huge feat. So these are independent games, and people are buying these in droves. So this is very, very cool for the industry. Independent gaming is really going to save this industry. I say that very boldly. Because the blockbuster titles, they're not holding up towards the indie titles anymore. I'm more interested. When I see a new indie game, I'm more interested in that than I am when I see like Modern Warfare 4 coming out, you know. So it's going to save the gaming industry. That's why I'm glad it's thriving. I'm glad Steam is giving it a platform. I'm glad PSN and Xbox Live are giving, even though they're not perfect, I'm glad they're giving them some sort of a mechanism to expose independent games because they're very important. So congratulations to Humble Indie Bundle 4. Sales past $2 million. Thanks for the story, Fish Twit. And okay, Emeraldale. Over 1% of League of Legends players have been banned. They got a lot of players, so that's a lot of bans. Okay, Riot Games came up with the tribunal system. It allows players who have played enough games to reach level 30 to vote on whether to take action against a reported player. Once enough votes are tallied, either the player is pardoned automatically or his case is submitted to a smaller GM team to await punishment. The biggest shoppers at a whopping 1.4% of League of Legends' over 15 million players have been banned within the system, a workload that far exceeds the capacity of a traditional GM's team. 94% of players submitted to the tribunal system are punished, with about 50% of them never reoffending. That's a lot of people. It's a nice little graphic here that they're depicting everything that we just talked about. The tribunal needs you. 16 million total votes, over 80 million IP rewarded to voters. So basically, they're too cheap to buy to expand their GM team. Listening, Riot, you need to expand your GM team. You guys got money. Expand your GM team. Hire more. Spend that money. Okay. Thanks for the story, Emeraldale. Next story, BioWare. Next Dragon Age to have a more open world feel. Draw from Skyrim. Oh boy, you mentioned Dragon Age and Skyrim in the same sentence and some people faint. Next Dragon Age to have a more open world feel. Draw from Skyrim. Compared to Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2 was a bit constrained. Blah, 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 blah. The next Dragon Age is going to have the best of the features from the prior Dragon Age games, but it's also going to have a lot of things that I think players are going to find compelling from some of the games that are out now that are doing really well with more of an open world feel. We're checking Skyrim out aggressively. We like it. We're big admirers of Bethesda and the product. He added, we think we can do some wonderful things. So they're going to steal from Skyrim. I'm a tell. Stealing. Dovahkiin armor. I'm going to tell. But those of you into Dragon Age, you probably will be happy to hear this. That's going to be more open world, more exploratory. That takes a lot of work. Ask Bethesda about how much work goes into these open world games. That's why they got so many bugs. That's why dragons fly backwards. That's why everybody's taking arrows to their knees. It's just mind-boggling chaos. You and your knees. Next Dragon Age, open world. Thanks for the link, Emeraldale. Okay. Ninja Yugi has 2 stories for me. Kiss your Xbox Live Arcade avatar guns goodbye. Never had them. If I did, I wouldn't kiss them, though. Microsoft New Year's resolution to remove all gun-like items from the Xbox Live Marketplace. Oh, boy. I smell controversy. You've got only a little time to buy any gun-like avatar items before they disappear from the marketplace forever. Starting January 1st, the Lancer and Hammerburst avatar items will no longer be available in Xbox Live Marketplace. If you purchase the items prior to January 1st, you will be able to keep them. A new policy goes into effect for all gun-like avatar items in the marketplace, so get them while they're hot. Got mixed feelings about this. It's just pixels, though. I wouldn't get all upset about this. I really don't care about avatar guns to begin with. But those of you who do, you were going to get an Xbox 360 on January 2nd, and the first thing you were going to purchase was one of those Hammer Lances thingsies from the marketplace, and it's not going to be there. Call your senator or representative. I am the 99%. Check it out, guys. This is over on escapistmagazine.com. They got the details. Outstanding story. Thanks for that, Ninja Yugi. Final Fantasy 13 12-2. 12-2? Okay. I didn't know there was 12-2, but I think they mean 13-2. Diminished debut may spell trouble for the franchise. Yes, 13. So their diminished debut, so apparently it didn't do well in Japan. Final Fantasy 13-2 for PS3 moved over 500,000 copies after shipping in Japan last week. Around 1/3 of the sales of the original Final Fantasy 13 saw just 2 years ago. Now, I wonder if they can compare this to Final Fantasy 10-2 and see how that sold compared to Final Fantasy 10. Because these -2s, I don't know if they do as well initially. I would love to see that comparison because I don't think the -2s do all that great. Even though some people like some of the -2s better than the regular ones. But I've been watching gameplay of -2 and I want it. I want to play it. It looks good. And I was one of the few people who liked 13. Call me the 99% minority. Hey, occupy Final Fantasy. I'm all there, man. But Square Enix has admitted several months that the Final Fantasy brand was greatly damaged by the MMO Final Fantasy 14. I agree. And Final Fantasy 13 had less than stellar sales that people anticipated. Good story, though. We're going to be watching this one closely. This comes out in North America, I think, the end of January. Or is it early February? We're going to see how the sales are here. I don't anticipate it selling very, very well. Final Fantasy fans, diehard fans, are probably going to jump all over it, though. Okay, thanks for that, Ninja Yugi. And Roz says, Portal Christmas tree is absolutely genius. I think this is the one that's sticking through the... Yeah, this tree's sticking through the side. Is that the full picture? Here it is. So they got the tree upside down through the floor and it's coming through the roof like a portal. Very, very innovative use of portal technology. Aperture Science. And Cave Johnson will be proud. Congratulations. That face. That face. Thanks for the story, Roz. Let's see. I think we got... Nope. That's all the stories we have. And guess what time it is, y'all? Guess what time it is? It is title time. Title time. This is part of the show where you guys come up with snazzy titles for the show. Try to come up with something that's relevant to the stories that we talked about. You guys put together some words and make things up. And it sounds great. And then I pick something. And then you all vote in the chat. And everybody looks at you. And let's do it. Hey! Game Chat Bwana episode 42 to answer the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. Deluxe AB, title, LOL, that bandhammer. Fastest game chat with Bwana ever. Xbox and PS3 renovations, definite possibility. Game fame is to blame. A rift open and try on servers. BioWare. Jalsa, you put them all in one line. Oh my gosh, I can't read all those. How many bans? Over 1%. Title, that's a definite possibility. 1% of LoL players, that isn't much. Oh wait, Bwana likes to ban people. Junction, what's your function? Riot bans the 1%. Blurry picture must be Half-Life 3. Occupy Final Fantasy. I smell SOPA. $2 million on indie games, who knew? Riot Games is cheap. What do you say, Battlefield? That's great. Skyrim Age, the third person. Trolls in the Mist. Microsoft guns down firearms from the marketplace. Bwana occupies Final Fantasy 13. Final Fantasy 13-2 incoming. It may be the New Republic when you finally get in. 2 million players in SWTOR, a definite possibility. Everyone is getting trolled. It's getting away, guy. Hey, EA versus Activision, we're back. Riot bans 1%. Final Fantasy 13.2 bought by the 1%. Activision versus EA Sweet, definite possibility. No Hearts to EA Kingdom while Respawn has a zombie troll face. Troll face? BioWare has the scrolls of a thief. I used to sue for blurry pictures, but then I took Skyrim to the Dragon Age. Oh, you just tried way too hard. Okay, let's pick some. Okay. We got one. Let's see, that's one there. And I'm seeing some of the latest ones. I saw a couple more. Let's see, there we go. And do. I'm having trouble finding the third one. Probably because I didn't have a lot of a lot of stories tonight. There we go. Alright, we got 3 titles tonight. 3 titles. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. Here's the third one. When B. George starts it. You guys know the routine. Vote for your favorite one. Do it. Okay, I think we may have a winner. And the winner is, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, Roz! Congratulations, Roz. You win. Title time accolades are now yours. The title will be, It May Be the New Republic When You Finally Get In. Ho! 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 I like it a lot. Congratulations, Roz. You win title time for Game Chat Bwana episode 42. You have now earned the accolades and all the praises that are coming along with this. Because here at Game Chat with Bwana, we don't give away actual prizes. We don't give away actual items. We give you bragging rights. Those bragging rights you take along with you in your little lunchbox. And you hold them up. And when someone asks you for credentials, you open that lunchbox, you go, oh, and the lights will shoot out. And it will say, Title Time Champion, Episode 42, Game Chat with Bwana. It may be the new republic when you finally get in. They'll be like, oh, that was you? That was you? That was you? And you'll be like, yeah. I got Game Chat 1 title time. I'm special. I love you all. Congratulations, Roz. You win. Title time, Game Chat 1, episode 42. And that concludes episode 42 of Game Chat with Bwana. I want to thank all of you for coming by for our short abbreviated version, which just happened to be about 45 minutes. Seems short, doesn't it? Seems short when it's 45 minutes, but they usually go over an hour. So the abbreviated show, we'll see how you guys like this format. If we like it, we'll keep it. If not, we'll go back to the old one. But I got to step out in a few minutes, so that's why we had an abbreviated show. So thanks everybody for coming by. We're here at live.bwana.tv or twitch.tv/Bwana. Come on by. Join our forums at bwana.tv/forums, our community forums. You can communicate with other people, talk about stuff, talk about Minecraft. Also, follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Bwana or at twitter.com/Bwana live if you wish to be notified when I go live here on twitch.tv, because I play games. I do other stuff here on twitch.tv and live.bwana.tv. Those two sites are kind of mirrored. I host one with an embed, and twitch.tv is the main site. So you can take your pick onto which one you want to pick for Game Chat with Bwana. I'm still on vacation. And I ain't got to go to work tomorrow. It feels good. Yeah. That was a smile. Yeah. I don't have to go to work because I had vacation. Awesome. Game Chat Bwana episode 42 complete. I will see you guys next week, I think. Yes. That will be January 2nd. I'll see you guys next year. I'll see you guys next year. Bwana, you gotta wait. I'll see you next year. Take care. Have a great day. See you next year. Bye-bye. Cut the cake.